We started walking outside of the event. Like I said, Striker, I don't have enough air. He said, what do you mean? Like it's open air. I said, I just want to get out of there. Like I felt like so upset that I didn't like I didn't complete like what I promised to the girls.
So last week we had a disastrous event in Alicante here in Spain. We tried to host the first ever Love at First Sight in-person event at the Carcass Festival in Alicante, and it was a disaster.
And so we will share why.
Yes, well, we can say why it was. It's because there was too many women and there was no men that were going to take part in the game. So
let's start a little bit from the beginning. Yeah.
This is pure gold. Yes, yes. Dating event ends in disaster. Why? Because men didn't show up. Now that is nothing new in the current climate we're living in. But this scenario takes it to a whole other level. Let's get into it.
Ain't that a man? Let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back. So you know the teaser. So what happened is that we went to Milan. If you guys following us, we doing our rendezvous. We went to New York, to Chicago, to Austin, planning to do another one probably in California. And we went to Milan to meet with our clients. And I got an offer to present, to do some game in Alicante, in Carcass Fest. So we flew from Milan straight to Alicante to do this presentation of Heart Rocket and playing this game. I announced it on my page, and I was very surprised that a lot of girls, my subscribers, our clients, they just start getting their tickets from Turkey, from Germany, from Italy, from France. One girl was also flying from Milan. They went to this event just to see me, like to communicate with me, to meet with us both, and to play the game.
Whoa! They flew from other countries to play this game. Key word, game. Women still love this game because in their minds, they basically cannot lose. For men, it has become a humiliation ritual, and the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Quick note, these women flying out are likely your strong, independent career women who are still searching for their Prince Charming. The career is secured, the passport is stamped, the dream man still pending.
So we joined this event. We prepare as much as we could. Like we made a very cool stand. We blow up like 300 blew up 300 balloons in our colors. We did the banner. Everything was just absolutely perfect. And then the day started with the music. It's amazing location, huge location with a lot of Ukrainian food, with a lot of Ukrainian different things. I felt absolutely perfect. And
in all seriousness, gentlemen, this is significant money and effort going into one event. Apparently, women spend more on live events than dating apps. Romantic consumerism in its purest form. The experience is the product. Whether the man shows up or not is almost secondary.
The girls start coming. My girls, they were like, Striker would be better to describe those girls, but for me it was very unusual feeling. Like when the girls were coming, they were like, Luba, it is you. Can we touch you? Can we hug you? Because we're watching you every morning. Like, I wake up, I drink my coffee and I watch your videos. What you felt like, there was a lot of girls, guys. You can't imagine, like the girls were coming and coming and coming.
Yes, the girls were coming.
And I was really impressed by amount of girls that bought tickets, not just because they lived in Alicante, not even living in Spain. They bought those tickets to fly to meet us in person.
What exactly did this matchmaker sell these women? What did she promise them that they not only came in droves, but flew internationally to attend? She said it herself. They came all the way to see her. She has positioned herself as the fairy godmother in the Cinderella story, and the women bought the ticket, literally.
They did actually come to see Luba to participate in the game. But what was the problem that we had with the game? We had plenty of women there.
Yeah, so I was a little nervous. So the idea was to use our together game. So we pick the best questions. We would interact with the Slavic guys because we didn't know who actually going to be on this festival.
This was last minute, literally last minute.
It just happened like that. We were we not even announced it very much on our channel because it was literally last moment and
we were planning it on the plane. What we would do on the plane.
And and the girls I want you a little bit talk about the quality of the women because I was impressed how they've been dressed, how they looked, everybody came with the makeup, not like posh or vulgar, but it was
classy.
classy.
Yeah.
And like everything that I teach them, you know, everything, like they said, oh, you know, like look at my dress, I bought it because you have similar. And it's like it was just like I can't even really express like my feelings.
She addresses something significant here without realizing it. Men and women are not consuming the same content. The internet is completely divided along gender lines. Research confirms this.
Yes, I mean, I think men and women are looking at very, very different internets now, young men and young women.
Her message reached hundreds of women. It reached 0 men. And that is not an accident. It is a symptom. Men and women are operating in completely separate information ecosystems right now. The result? A room full of well-dressed women waiting for men who never got the memo.
When I saw them, and some of the girls I knew, like they did my consultations. Some of the girls I knew because they're our clients, and some of them were just like new and they just wanted to meet in person, and I did like little coaching for them, and they were sitting till the end and they were like waiting. So Striker created like a bot where we would collect the guys and the girls, and some guys did came. Like there was one guy, it was like a bit, I mean, it was a little bit sad, but he was shorter than me, and he was like filling this form and he was writing like, okay, what I'm doing, I'm an entrepreneur, I love traveling, and then the height, and he's putting like 170 centimeters and I'm 163.
Was he shorter than you?
Yes.
I didn't realize he was
I
shorter.
mean, maybe same, but not 100.
Was he?
Yes.
He wasn't that short.
No, he was the same. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, she says. Those couple of centimeters make no difference, she says. But her own words told a different story.
It was a little bit sad, but
It was a little bit sad. That man has been here before. Short men have learned their lesson in this dating market, and they have drawn the rational conclusion. Why show up to a game where the scoring criteria is stacked against you before you walk through the door?
yeah, and so there was like another guy came, he was 33, and then another one, he was 26, so some young guy. The ladies were different age, so I didn't really approach extra ladies apart from the ones that knew me, because there was no point in that, there was no man. And so the ladies at this event, like at this festival, they were all day there. There was like a little booth, like with the beauty, you know, a little booth with like some of them were selling something, somebody was just visiting. They were like stunning, and the age was probably like from 18 to like 55. Honestly, like variety.
That age range deserves its own moment. 18 to 55. A wider range means more competition. And it is these older women who are the most active participants in this dating market. They do not seem to retire from it. The dating industry knows this and builds its entire business model around it. We will be coming back to this in future videos.
And I was staying there, and I said, Striker, if any of our clients would come
If any
right
guys
now,
were there, like you would, if you went to this event as a Western guy, I guess any guy, it doesn't have to be a Western guy or whatever, and you just come and like said hello to us, they're sitting on the chair, they're just
the girls were like bees. They was like right, like they.
I felt a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, should I talk to them? Should I buy them a drink? Like, what? They're just kind of sitting there, just like waiting for men. You know, if you had come to this event, you would definitely have met a woman that you could have at least spoken to, or maybe gone on a date afterwards, or something. Like I was just standing there going, this is like shooting fish in a barrel.
Think about what was just described. A room full of women who flew across multiple countries, dressed up, desperate for a decent man, waiting, and the men at home, working, training, living their lives. That is not a male loneliness epidemic. That is men opting out of a ritual that stopped delivering value to them.
And it's funny because if I saw, at the end we were leaving, there was 2 women there, and they were both in our database, right?
One of them, yes.
Or one of them was in our database. And if you looked at these women, most men would go, there's no way I'm speaking to those women, because they're sort of sitting there, you know, just like talking to each other. And you would assume, because they're, you know, good looking, that they wouldn't be interested in me. Like, it's just too intimidating. But when we went over and we were speaking to them, all they were saying was like, you know, we just want to meet a good man. Like, you know, can you help us? You know, we just, you know, we really want this. And I was telling them, like, I was giving them some hints. I was going, you know, be really good to Luba. Just, you know, say everything nice to Luba. And Luba will do whatever it takes. Like, if she likes you, she'll do.
Do you make them fake to me?
No. I was just saying, like, just be like, you know, be super nice to Luba. Like,
And just do what I say.
Just do what she's, like listen to her, what she has to say, stuff like that, whatever. And then, like, honestly, like if you understand how, I don't want to use this word, but I'm going to use it here because it's easy to understand, like how desperate these women were to meet men. to have relationships with men, not desperate to have. There's plenty of like guys I'm sure they could have sex with, but to have a real relationship, and they're just sitting there. If you knew that, if you could see through my eyes, you would see. Maybe next time I'll take like a hidden like those the glasses, and you would be able to hear it, and your intimidation with women would be gone. I always say all the time that if you understood how bad women were at dating, you would not be intimidated by women.
Boom! He said it. The matchmaker, a man whose business depends on understanding both sides of this equation. Just told you something important. Women are bad at dating. The intimidating woman on her phone at the bar, she is sitting there hoping someone will talk to her and has no idea how to make that easier for him. There's nothing intimidating about a woman, especially when you understand them. It's all in your head. And then he says something even more revealing.
Not desperate to have. There's plenty of like guys I'm sure they could have sex with, but to have a real relationship, and they're just sitting there.
Not desperate for booty tap dancing, physical attention. There are many guys for that. Desperate for a real relationship. The sexual revolution told women that casual connection was empowering, that keeping options open was strength, that commitment was a constraint to be avoided until the timing was perfect. And now, the matchmaker is watching women fly from 4 countries to sit in empty chairs, waiting for men who opted out. Having attention is not the same as having a relationship. Women have been getting those two things confused for years, and the dating industry has been profiting from that confusion the entire time.
Even though they may sit there looking all, with their phone, whatever, looking very intimidating, it's not the case at all. You have to trust me on this one, okay? Trust me.
Yeah, and so I even the time was coming, it was 6:15, I knew that I need to start the game, I don't have enough guys, I started running around looking for some guys. There was like one Spanish guy, but he was not really, he wanted to do it, but his friend was like poking him, was kind of like
making it difficult for him to do it.
He would probably agree if he would by himself.
His friend was like the anti-wingman.
Yeah. Then
Yes, protect your friend, brother, protect him.
another guy, he was like a Ukrainian guy, and I looked at him and I came to him and I say, hey, would you like to take part? And he started being a really a typical Ukrainian, a little bit drunk guy. He started saying, yeah, why not? And then I said, so would you take a part? He said no, I'm not sure what my wife gonna say. And I'm like, you just wasted my time. And then he said, I just like the idea that you came to me, that I'm dateable material. I said,
This is pure gold. Please don't stop.
not really. So I started running around looking for guys. And guys, imagine all of our guys say, where can we meet good ladies? Where can that happen? And there was no guys. This event is I would not say a little bit, but it's mostly family event and single ladies. It's families and single ladies, families and single ladies, a lot of kids, a lot of activities for the children, and I don't know what the future will bring. So was it it used to be popular to say everything is perfect, I've done everything right. No, I've done everything right. We've done everything right, but it didn't happen. We didn't play the game. Yes, we announced it, we wanted, the girls were waiting, but I told my girls, I said, I adore my clients. I literally adore Western guys who are serious. Yes, there can be a little bit sometimes goofy, but they're making jokes, they're funny, they're kind, they're smiling. They're not walking around drunk and saying, yeah, you're approaching me. They're never gonna do that, and I said, girls, I can't, I could have, maybe I could have used of all of my potential, and find those 3, 5, 6 guys, but I didn't want. I gave up. At that moment, I even said to Striker thought that I lost my mind. We started walking outside of the event. I said, Striker, I don't have enough air. He said, what do you mean? It's open air. I said, I just want to get out of there. I felt so upset that I didn't complete what I promised to the girls.
There it is. She promised. And that is the pattern worth naming clearly. The Feminist movement promised women something. Disney promised women something. The dating coaching industry promises women something. They are all selling the same product, the romantic fantasy. The idea that if you just follow the right steps, dress the right way, attend the right event, work with the right matchmaker, your Prince Charming is waiting at the end of the process. He is not.
Are really the best. I worked 16 years. I've been working for big companies. I saw all type of girls, but the girls that coming to us right now, it is really mwah, how Striker said, chef kiss.
It's the chef's kiss.
The matchmaker failed. Not because she did not try, not because the women were not quality, because the men did not show up, and no event planner, no matchmaker, no dating coach can fix a demand problem by improving supply. Women flew from Turkey, Germany, Italy, France. The matchmaker ran around a festival begging men to participate, could not find enough. That is not a supply problem. That is men collectively and quietly withdrawing from a game that stopped serving them. And here is the honest observation that nobody organizing these events wants to say out loud. The men who would have shown up 5 years ago have done the math. They know how these events work. They know what the screening criteria looks like. They know the height requirements and the income expectations and the checklist that gets applied before they even open their mouths. They decided the price of the ticket was too high, not the event ticket. The social and emotional price of showing up, performing, being evaluated, and most likely being found wanting by women who flew internationally, but somehow cannot find a man worth committing to in their home cities. So keep organizing events. Keep flying across countries. Keep dressing up and doing your makeup and paying the matchmaker's fee. But until the conversation shifts from how do we attract more men to why are men not showing up and what would make this worth their time, the chairs will stay empty. The problem is not the event. The problem is not the men. The problem is a value exchange that stopped working and an entire industry built on convincing women the problem is fixable with better planning. It is not. Listen to all, follow none.
Management, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.